Hey, thanks for tuning in with me today. I am gonna do my regular platform of tutorial for my Santa blanket. So I'm gonna show you the one that I made. I did a workshop yesterday for some ladies, and this is it. And it has a Santa belt, and you can't see the whole thing, but this is a 40 by 60 size. And I am going to show you how to do that. And I will speed it up so it won't be a long tutorial. But I will put the supplies that you'll need in the description below. And yeah, we're gonna start with a 29 cast on chain for this pattern. Okay, so wanted to show you real quick, here are the supplies that I use. And you wanna make sure you get your 6 skeins of red in the same dye lot. That number will be right underneath the color or the name of the color. And so I'm using 6 red, 1 white skein, 21 yards of black, and approximately 9 yards of gold, scissors, and a lighter to burn. Let's jump right in. Okay, well, we have a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. We are going to go ahead and make our slip knot. I leave just a little tail. And then we are going to make 28 more cast on loops. I hold mine at the table just because I like to keep them all the same size, and it's easier for me to do that. And I do a tight 3-finger widths. It's pretty important for the Santa blanket that you don't have your loops too tight or too loose. So just kind of go around like this. And you'll get it down. So, like I said, a total of 29. And if you lose count, I'll show you how to count later. The table that I use is a lifetime adjustable height table, so I could stand or sit, and I really enjoy that. Let's see, I need a few more. Let me just count real quick. That one's a little bit too big. And I'll show you how you count. I count the edge legs of the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, that was close. So there's 29. We're gonna flip it over, and like I told my class, however you learned to start with, it is fine to either leave it this way and go through the top legs to pull your stitches through. If you're doing that, you skip the first one and continue going through each one. I do the back, middle, center pieces. So 1 And then I just keep pulling my stitches through. Now, for the body of the blanket, you're gonna want it to be about a tight thumb width. So you don't want it too small, but definitely don't want it too loose, because if you have your stitches larger on the body of the blanket, it will, you will have big gaps in your blanket. And if you know this part already, you can skip through it. I just take my index finger and thumb and pull it through. So I kind of do it with my finger and then stick my thumb in it, and that's kind of how I figure out the size of the loop for your first row. Sometimes it may be a little bit difficult to go through, but you've got to go through each one. If you come out at the end and you don't have 29, then you probably missed one or two, and you're just going to have to recount your chain and make sure that you've done all of them. So let's go ahead and see how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Perfect. All right, so then we are gonna kind of pull this a little bit tighter, and we'll deal with that at the end. Okay, so we're gonna do our edge stitch first, and we're gonna knit all the way across. So for this section, we are gonna do, and you'll wanna keep your loops the same tension as the first ones. So we're gonna finish this section with 9 rows of red. And if you don't have a row counter, you can get one on Amazon or Michaels. So then you can click it with each row. A good friend of mine told me about those. Shout out to Gay. And let's see. So we're coming to our edge now. And I'm just gonna show you to knit every stitch for this blanket. If you prefer not to knit every stitch, your edges might end up differently with the color changes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 7 more rows, and I will come back when I'm finished. Okay, so here is the row counter that I was talking to you about that I got. This one I got at Michael's. I do prefer it over the one I got on Amazon, but what I wanted to show you, now we're going to change our color to white. And I've done my 9 rows. So let me find the end here. So we're going to knit our last stitch on the edge. Now, if you drop your edge stitches, you'll need to do it right here behind this stitch. But for color changes, I prefer to do knitting each stitch. So I'm going to cut it off at about 1 inch. And for this pattern, you will become a pro at color changes and the burn method. So there is a little white cord in the center of chunky chenille. So I'm going to cut this one as well. And you can feel it with your finger. So I only light one end. When you want to light that cord, let it burn for 2 seconds, and then push it to the other one and massage it so it will do a seamless connection for you and no big knots. Okay, so now the other little trick I do with when I color change, if there is a little more red, I will just pull that a little bit bigger. And now we are going to knit our edge stitch with the white, and it will match our row. So now we're gonna, like I said, do 4 rows of red, white, getting my colors confused. And I will be back after I knit the 4 rows. And again, I knit all of the edges. All right, so I've done my 4 rows of white, and I'm gonna use my row counter. I'll be starting row 14 now, and we are gonna do 16 rows of the red now. Be sure and blow the smoke away from you. And I always do a little tug test after to make sure that the connection is tight. And now we're gonna knit our red. So I will see you back in 16 rows. And if you prefer to just do the PDF, I have that on my Etsy shop. So that is an option. All right, now I've done my 16 rows of red, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the Santa belt. And if you're counting the pattern, you will be at row 29. You'll be starting row 30 with the black yarn. So I went ahead and cut my red. And we're going to fuse this to the other yarn. Now we're going to do 1 row of solid black. Yep, that's on there good. Make sure you pull that stitch just a little bit bigger so you don't see the connection. We're going to do 1 row of solid black, And then the next row will be 12 blacks knitting to the left. You will do a color change for 5 gold stitches, and then you will do 12 more blacks. So I will record the next row, so I'll come back when I'm done with this black. Okay, so we're gonna, now we've just finished our solid black row, and I'm gonna knit the edge stitch, and we're gonna do, count 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we are going to add the gold for 5 stitches. So I am going to burn the gold to the black. Uh-oh. Might have to get my other, this is a refillable torch lighter. Oh, there we go. So, see how there's a little black there? I kind of pull that stitch a tiny bit bigger and then do the gold. So there's our 5 gold stitches, and now we're going to change it back to the black. Well, you're supposed to only cut or only burn the cord, not the yarn itself. There we go. Again, just kind of push it together. Be sure not to burn yourself. And now we're going to do another 12 of the black. Pull this one a little bit higher again. Okay, now when we come back for our next row, after we finish this one out, we're going to do 12 of the black again, but this time it's going to be a little different. After you do the 12 knit stitches, you are going to only do 1 gold on this side of the buckle and 1 gold on this side of the buckle. So middle 3 will be black stitches. So we're going to connect a burn for 1 stitch, burn for 3, burn for 1, and then do 12 again on the end. need to refill this. If you know intarsia, you can use that method. I have done it before. For me, it requires some finishing work, so do your tug test. Now, a little bit extra there. Pull that stitch up. Now we're gonna knit 1. Trim it off. And then knit 3 of the black. I kind of blow it out as I'm putting it together. So. Oh, look at that one, did not connect well. Sometimes if you don't do the tug test, you will have a connection that comes apart. So smash it good together. Okay. Again, pull that stitch up a little bit, not too much, and then knit your 3 black stitches. Now we're gonna do the 1 stitch of gold over here. Okay, I'm gonna get a new lighter. Okay. No more clicking. Usually my husband fills it for me, so right now I'll just use a disposable. Okay, now we're gonna do our last gold stitch for this row. Oh, that one didn't work. Pull that black up a little more. You have to kind of play with it to make sure your colors don't transfer onto the next stitch. And this is the 3rd row of our Santa belt. Uh-oh. This is a brand new lighter. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, pull that one up a little. Now do your last 12 black. Now I'll come back when I get your next 2 rows. Is it 2? No, your next row is going to be the same. So I will come back when you'll do the 4th row the same as the 3rd, and then we'll finish with the 5 gold at the top of the buckle. So I will come back when I'm finished with that. Okay, so for the sake of making this video a little bit quicker, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the rest of the pattern. So you're going to do one more solid row of black. You'll then do 16 rows of red and then switch to white for 4 rows and 9 for the finish and cast off. I'll link below a cast off. Thanks for tuning in. Happy knitting. I love y'all.